is Liz, the Vespa mom, and I am so excited. I am here in Cincinnati at the local Vespa dealer, Cadre Cycle. And it's a great shop. This place specializes in all things Italian bikes. And this is one of the newest Vespa dealers in this area. So we're really excited to be here. This is my buddy. This is Vespa Matt. This video is going to be the first of what I hope is a series that I'm going to call Ask the Vespa Dealer. So today I just kind of want to start with this idea that a lot of people seem to wonder about. There's a lot of scooters out there. There are different brands. Why is Vespa so expensive compared to everything else? Why is that?
It's honestly a terrific question. We get it a lot. And there's a really good answer. Mostly it is just simply that no other scooter on the planet is built like a Vespa. It's singular, it's very, very unique. And it's not just the fashionable design aspects of it. They are physically made different. This scooter here is a Vespa Primavera. I know that near and dear to your heart. I love them as well. It's a 150cc model, very, very common globally. Next to it, I have a Piaggio Liberty. Now, if you don't know, Piaggio is the mothership. They own Vespa. They also own Moto Guzzi motorcycles. This Liberty is built like just about every other scooter on the planet. There's a single tube frame, and then plastic or metal pieces get bolted to it. It makes it economical, makes it easy to repair, easy to put together, easy to manufacture. The Vespa is completely different. The structure itself is the machine. It's built like a car. It's a monocoque shell is what it's called, or a unibody. It is basically one piece of steel from here all the way to the back end. And what that does is it intrinsically changes how the vehicle feels. It is so much more stable and it doesn't flex nearly as much. It's a much stronger platform with which to build your scooter. So what you're able to do then is give it those classic Vespa characteristics. One thing you'll notice is the Vespa has these little tiny 12-inch wheels on it, right? And the Piaggio has a much larger 16-inch wheel. So the 16-inch wheel helps the Piaggio and other scooters like it that are built that way stabilize the ride, especially at higher speeds. It helps absorb bumps. Makes the ride just more pleasant in general. Since the Vespa doesn't have to use a larger wheel, since it's built stronger, it can use the smaller wheel and get the same performance, but also get a much more nimble machine.
Okay.
So this machine is much easier to roll around the city with, to maneuver, to park, to push around, yet it still feels every bit as stable as one of the other scooters with the larger wheels.
Okay, so did Piaggio make the Liberty with the larger wheels mostly so they could try to get a similar smooth feel to a Vespa, but it wouldn't have worked with smaller wheels because of the body, the way the body's built? Is that what you're saying?
100% correct.
Okay, so other scooter brands that are built probably a little bit more like this, but do have smaller wheels, is that a completely different experience? Is that likely to just be more, how would you describe that kind of ride?
Less stable, shakier, noisier, more harshness, more vibrations. That is intrinsic in scooters built this way. Okay. Not saying they're bad products. We're not here to bash any product. Right. We love Vespas. I love Piaggios. Mm-hmm. Right. This little Liberty is one of my favorites.
I think this is a beautiful bike.
But they feel different, and that's honestly why we encourage anyone looking at buying a scooter, right, to come and drive them. We have every model of our product available for driving. Honestly, we don't even want to sell you one until you've ridden it.
Is that common? Because I have heard that you can't always test drive scooters.
No, you can't always test drive scooters, but we do go out of our way here at Cadre, and other good shops will as well, to make sure that we have a demo of almost everything. We really want people to ride it, because a lot of the difference between Vespa and the other makers you can't quantify with words. It's a feeling. It's how does it feel when you ride it.
So are there any other reasons that you can think of that the Vespa has such a higher price tag?
There are, and there are a couple of very practical reasons and some not so practical reasons. Practical reasons is they've been doing this since 1946, 80 years. There's a huge network of dealers, even in America, where Vespas and scootering is not as popular, where you get quality service, quality training. You know they're going to be there. You know, a lot of people buy the Vespas, buy any scooter, but they keep them for years and years and years and years, right? The fit and finish is always terrific. The paintwork on Vespas, their color schemes are magnificent. You know, they put out some of the best colors in the world, the Italian design. They're made in Italy with Italian craftsmanship, which is another reason that they're more costly. They're not made in some of the other countries in the world that have lower labor costs.
Gotcha.
Countries like China, where you have lower labor costs, or Vietnam, things like that. Every Vespa sold in Europe and America is made in Pontedera, Italy.
So what specifically about the Vespa brand and name draws that higher price tag?
Well, Vespa was the originator, right? Enrico Piaggio in 1946 designed and patented this little scooter. It was designed for post-war Italy, post-World War II, to be able to get people up and moving again. What he didn't quite expect was just how beautiful and emotionally attached people would get to these little scooters.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, no, I understand completely, right? The Vespa name is actually Italian for wasp. And it wasn't for the shape of it, actually. It was for the noise that they made, the sound. But immediately, people started flocking to it. There were movies made about it. Movies in the 1950s, early the 50s, Roman Holiday and La Dolce Vita, where Audrey Hepburn was riding through Rome on a Vespa. And then in England in the 1960s, the mod culture, the modernists flocked to these things. It's on the album cover of the Who's Quadrophenia album. So that was the 1960s, and that followed into the 70s and 80s, and even into the 90s you had Vespa in music videos, because it's such a real thing, and artists are in tune to that. It's an artistic thing. They're popular even in modern movies. Recently, if you saw any of the Deadpool films, there's a Deadpool film where Ryan Reynolds is riding his Vespa through the streets of Vancouver in an action scene. There's a sense of freedom, of romance, of authenticity, of joy that these machines deliver that really only the best brands in the world do. People feel about Vespas the way they feel about Gucci or Ferrari or any really beloved brand, because frankly, they're more than a scooter. They become your companion. They become your buddy. One of the really neat things people love about Vespas is that they can be modified, changed, any number of ways. If you ever saw my wife's, it's covered in parrots. You can put different mirrors on them. You can make them look exactly how you want it to be. It becomes your friend, your companion. There's a genuine emotional connection, and that's why people keep them forever. Right? So many people keep their Vespas, not 5 years, not 10 years, 15, 20 years they'll have the same Vespa. And it's because they're a real, authentic thing. They're beloved worldwide.
So can you kind of touch on resale value? Because that also factors into the price tag, right?
It does. Vespas hold their resale, honestly, as good as any two-wheeled vehicle for sure. Better than most. They typically carry 75 to 80%, 85% in a lot of cases of their value. Finding them used, and we get that a lot. People call the time, what do you have used? There's almost nothing.
Yeah, they're hard to find, I know.
Right,
For many years.
They're hard to find. They're hard to find used and less expensive. A lot of times new is simply the way to go. That way you get exactly what you want.
So bottom line, if someone were to come and say, I mean, is it worth it to go with the Vespa if that's ultimately what I want? How would you answer that?
Yes, they're absolutely worth it. And, you know, buying the right scooter matters. They're meant to be fun, right? They're meant to be joyous. They're meant to add happiness to your life. Find the one that works for you. The Vespas are terrific. They are worth every penny of what they sell them for. But come and ride it and know for yourself. Ride the Piaggio, because one of them will speak to you. A scooter will speak to you, and you'll know. You'll say, hey, this is the one. And the Vespa will be better with age. The longer you have it, the more you will love it. And that is kind of the opposite of most other scooters, right?
Okay.
It is a growing relationship. That's kind of an exponential growth with these. You build a relationship with it. I've not owned anything else on the planet that has that kind of value. So yeah, I absolutely think that they're worth the money. They're worth the investment. They're certainly going to take great care of you. And they're easy to take care of.
All right, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. And I think we've learned a lot. It's a good conversation.
Absolute joy. Everybody have a great day. Thanks again.